All right. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24 hours a day. Zig Ziglar. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me on Her Pink Diary, where I create lucrative real estate opportunities so that my partners have safe, lucrative investments. And on this episode, I'm going to go over ROI Muse, which is a deal analyzer, and show you, some of the techniques that I use. I use this one. I am not getting paid for this video. I'm not a certified endorser, so to speak. It's just something I use, so I'm just sharing it, okay? So if you look on the screen, this is behind the scenes. So let's go to the front page. This is ROI Muse, right? It's a deal analyzer made easy for investors and brokers. They do have various different tools to use, which I'll show you in a minute. You can go over the website on your own, but the pricing right here, you can do monthly or yearly. Now I did the yearly because I plan on being a wholesale investor for storage facilities or a whole storage facility owner. So I just bought it for a year, just it's cheaper. Anyways, so, but you do get a free trial. So if you like it, you can try it out 15 days. And then if you like it, you can purchase it. And if not, you can find something else that you do like. Okay. So, let's just jump right in. Okay. So this is let's go to the front page. These are the premium tools. You got a commercial deal analyzer, commercial lease, which I don't use. Residential deal analysis, I don't use. Construction estimator, I don't use, but you do have that at your disposal if you're thinking about doing that in your real estate game. Then you also have free calculators. So the one I use is cap rate, NOI, and value. I use this. And the amortization schedule if I run across someone who wants to do seller financing. These other two, MPV and time value money, I don't use, but this time value money seems like it could be interesting, and I may get into it later. Also, they have net worth and compound interest, which also could be helpful, and that's under the apps, right? So to get access to mine, so this is my deals. So this is this tab, the apps we just covered, and the deals is what I have right here. Okay. They also have a compare button, which you can compare. You can make two files, you can make a file or make a deal, analyze it, clone it, and do side by side. So say I have one with no capital investment, no CapEx. And then I have one with 25K CapEx, 35K CapEx. You can actually compare these things on this platform in a nice professional looking spreadsheet so that when you send it to your potential private investors, they can see a nice clean professional looking document with the numbers that they're looking to see on it. Okay. This here is you add a new deal. Pricing is kind of self-explanatory. And settings just has like your information, your password reset, things like that nature. Okay. So here you can start a new deal, but we're just going to go ahead and jump into mine because if I try to explain it that way, it gets kind of confusing for me, and I would rather just do it this way. Okay, so on this one is one of the deals that I'm working on. It's 136 units. You can add images, you can add links. So if you have like a file with all like the plat maps, tax records, things of that nature, you can actually link it to this platform. That way, when you shoot them an email with this actual link, they can click on the other links to see the information, which is cool. You can also add images in a document library right here on the platform, okay? You save it as a new file, but right here is the share function that I was just telling you about. You're clicking on that and you just enter in their emails and you can shoot it right to them. What I think I'm going to do is either keep it on a like Google Drive or put it on a Sway PowerPoint, just like a teaser, and then if they want to know more, they, the NDA is there, and then I can direct them to the file with all of the information, the actual information. You can also do a PDF form, which I will add to, or I have added to my file on Google Drives. And then you can just reset to normal values and set certain parameters as a default, which is kind of cool. So on this one right here, you have the deal name, and this one is what you will actually see right here, okay? And on the analysis name, as you can see, I have no capital improvements for this one. You can do it as a multifamily, office, retail, industrial, self-storage, and other. Here you can add what you want. Now, right here, doesn't do the actual analysis except for down here. But here you can have the purchase price. It's kind of like the quick blurb. It's like a summary. So you do the asking price, the minimum cap rate, that is the threshold of whether this is a deal that I will represent or not, the number of units, a date it was built, the amount of square footage. So this actually is a self-storage, and it breaks it down. So the white is what you enter, the gray is what is calculated for you, okay? But right here is where these right here, all this right here affects these numbers down here. So as you can see, the acquisition price is the same as up top, but down here again is where are all the calculations for the numbers and the information below, okay? So right here is the cost. This is what you'll enter into actually acquire the property, the loan amount. So if you're doing a 100% loan, which if you can get that, let me know in the comment section. Let us all know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And right here, you also could put right here for owner financing, or you could just do all cash. It's up to you, okay? My hold period is 7 years. The disposition cap rate, which is what it will be sold, what the cap rate will be once at the time of selling in 7 years. And then the sales cost to do the transaction, okay? So as you can see, the sales cost is almost $70,000. So this is something that I could send to like, or information where I could pitch to the owner to try to see if he is interested in owner financing. And if he is somewhat even an inkling or an iota, I can say, hey, you're going to save about this much money in capital gains tax from right up front versus just paying it over, the length of the loan with me. And, that is a good selling point for owner financing if, that is the route that you want to go, and if that's the route they want to go. Okay, so that's good information. Okay. So this is information on if you were or when you are to sell it. And then this right here is the gold. Okay, so these are the numbers a lot of private investors, like that want to know about, right? So if my threshold is 9.5% cap rate, hold up, then it's not making sense because my criteria right here, 9. This is what I care about. 9.5% cap rate. The system should do it as a fail. Like, this is not a good deal for you if you're trying to get this because it's only 4.7. So you would enter in your criteria right here, right? And it'll automatically calculate it for you. And it'll also include it on the report that you send to your potentials. Okay, so right here, as you can see, just for the sake of demonstration, this is not a good deal for me. So let's just put it at 3%, 3.2%. Okay, it will be passing. Okay, great. So And then it'll also break down all the other numbers that you can use to sound knowledgeable and professional to those who you are trying to either partner with or obtain financing from. And so from here, also, it goes into the potential rental income for the year, the vacancy loss, which is, people who are not paying, people who are basically underpaying, not meeting market rate. So if something is like 35, they're paying $35 for a storage facility, and that area is actually like 70, then that right there is calculating the loss and vacancy collection rate for the year, okay? And then you have expenses. So with this right here, let's just change directions real quick and then jump back to it. You can enter in all the information of all the rentals for that property. Okay, for me, for storage facility, this is it right here. And you put the market rate, what the market will bear, and then what you're actually doing, and you can see the difference, okay? Sometimes this system will actually put in the potential versus what it actually is, which is the con for me, because I like to pitch where I am and where we could be versus, selling where we can be later on. Because if it's a good deal, they're not only going to look at that, they're going to look at other things like, does it have vacant land? Can I build on it? Is it added value? Are the storage units being sold less just to fill it up versus what is actually available on the market? Is it in good repair? Is it automated? Does it have a gate? There's other things involved other than just potential rental income. Is the cap rate good? What is the square footage per the amount of square footage per this investment? So there are other things. So I don't want to sell them on something that not is and hope that it's going to be like that. I'd rather work on what is, and that's fireworks outside, y'all. And then build to that and show them that where we can go versus being like, oh, we can go here, and they don't have all the information, because that seems kind of obfuscatory to me. So that's what that talks about in this. Okay, so potential rental income, other income. Some properties do have other income like shops. They may have other stores. They may have an empty lot. You can put that right here under this tab, and it'll calculate it for you, which is kind of cool too. I do like that aspect. Another thing with ROI Muse is that once you get it, they send you onboarding like videos and stuff, like how-to, it's tutorial, or live onboarding to where you can ask questions and learn how to use the system effectively, which I think is a very good pro. Okay, and then you can have expenses, and this is where I put in my expenses: property tax, insurance, professional services, yada, 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 that. And then you could also add the capital X and leasing. So if you have a property that has a lot where you can build additional units and you want to kind of save for that, then that's kind of where you would put that information right there. Okay, so as you can see, they're talking about different expenses, different incomes, and then it goes down to the mortgages, what the mortgage would be. And after all of that, it subtracts it and says, what is your net cash flow for the year? Now, this is negative, but then again, this is just a demo. I just put in a number and just roll with it just so you guys can see what this would look like if you were to get or you were to try it out. Okay, so these are the numbers that I'm looking at. I'm looking at where is it? Cap rate and net cash flow before tax. But see, in my expense, I did include the taxes, so this is actually the net cash flow. So you can kind of tweak it a little bit how you want. And then also, as you say, that $35 storage facility that could, or storage unit that can go for $75 in that area, you can say each year you want to slowly, increase the rent until you get to market value. And that's right here what this will come into play. So as you can see, I have this drawn out for 8 years, and I say, you know, I want 1% a year, so I'll raise it a little bit, and then I'll raise it a little bit more year 2, and then year 3 at 3%. So that the potential person or partner can see that, hey, I do have a plan in place to get it back to market value if it is definitely undervalued. And then it breaks it all down. Now, if I was pitching this to the owner himself and trying to say, hey, well, you're going to self-finance for me, in this folder that I have all of the contracts and stipulations, I would do this amortization schedule so they can see a breakdown, and the lawyers, and I give the lawyers the access to this file, and a breakdown of what the loan looks at over the terms that we suggested. So there's no guesswork. And so that way they feel comfortable, and if they feel comfortable, they feel safe. And if they feel safe, they'll like you, trust you, and get to know you. So people do business with people they know, like, and trust, and having all of the information in hand to wow them is a way to get them to trust you. Okay, so going back to here. Yeah, so that is why, what it is. And the reason why I got this platform, because once again, I am part of a mastermind that helps keep me accountable and gives me knowledge and helps me avoid pitfalls. And this was one of the platforms that they suggested to use. They had a representative come on, and they went over the system, demoed the system for us, gave us the 15-day free trial. I tried it, oh, let me show you how it looks. Let me see. Gave us a 15-day trial, and so I said, hey, I'm probably going to use this for at least a year. So let's just, just go ahead and get it and just have it. And so, like I said, I think it has you looking very professional. And see, it's pretty cool, right? Right? It breaks it all down. They get all the numbers, they get all the information. And if you were to do a comparison, let's see, it'll break down each, hello. So pros and cons. You look professional, right? It does a lot of the calculations for you. You can share it, either PDF form or as a link. You can add stuff to your link to make it seamless for your people, right? You can also add income, expenses, other income, rental income, all to there, and it'll calculate it for you, which is cool. They have a comparison tool, which is also cool, right? Here's what I don't like about it, okay? It can be a little bit buggy. So being that this is kind of new and they're kind of going to work out the kinks, when you click on this comparison analysis, it'll clone what you did already, and then you'll just type in the information that's different, right, in order to establish your comparison analysis. Well, I tried that, and the numbers, the numbers were stuck on the first one, on the original, versus transferring up to the clone. So try to refresh it, and then what ended up happening right here is that I made all brand new deals. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's make everything its own separate file, okay? That's one of the things I don't like. The second thing I don't like is this right here. When you enter in these, and say I enter in a new one, sometimes it gets a little buggy here that if you enter in a new one, it doesn't reflect in the numbers. You have to either refresh or start over, and it's like, I was like, this one is kind of a little bit tedious, but at the same time, it does make you look professional, and it is another tool that you can use. I use about 3 deal analyzers right now. So I like to make sure that it all matches, that I'm dotting all my I's and crossing all my T's. Yeah, so that's what I do. So I hope this helps. Leave any comments, questions, feedback, or concern. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Be safe.